How do you spot a biblical man worth marrying? In this video, I'm about to break down 7 ways you can spot him. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt, and I run this channel with my beautiful wife, Kelly, and we help God-led women create their dream love lives. So these 7 ways that I'm about to break down is an acronym that I've created called Manhood. Every letter is biblically based, so let's get into it to help you to spot a man worth marrying, a biblical man worth marrying. So the first letter is M. M stands for mature. You want a man who is mature and not immature. So if you think of a little kid is led by his emotions. A little kid is irresponsible. A little kid is easy to react and self-absorbed. Now, the struggle with a lot of men these days is that a lot of men have matured in age, but they haven't matured in consciousness. They're still living from an egocentric lens. So what you want is a man who is able to be not controlled by his emotions or not emotional, but in touch with his emotions. It's a very big difference. You want a man who is not led by his emotions, but in touch with his emotions, right? You want a man who is not going to be irresponsible, but is responsible. You want a man who is not going to be easy to react, but slow to respond. So in Corinthians, Paul says, chapter 13, verse 11, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. So that is the very first letter. Let's go into the second one. A stands for accountable. This one's really straightforward. This is a man who is going to own up to his wrongdoings. Own up when he's been dishonest. Own up to when he hasn't been loving you the way that you want to be loved. This is a man who is able to take ownership. So in Proverbs chapter 28, verse 13, it says, whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. So this was a very hard one for me in the past because I really struggled with pride. And still to this day, right? I'm going to put my hand up and say there are still times where pride gets in the way. And if we look at what gets in the way of someone being accountable and owning up, is pride, right? So is the man who you're dating, is the man that you're in a relationship with, is he living from pride and unable to own up and be accountable and say sorry? Or is pride the one who is running the show? So that is the second thing. And by the way, with everything that I'm sharing right now, especially for those of you who are single, this is why it's so important to date consciously and date slowly and take your time, not rush into marriage, because it's very hard to really see all of these different actions with the way that a man shows up if you're rushing into marriage and on 3 weeks in. It might take some time to really see how a man shows up through the dating stage. So that is the second thing. A stands for accountable. N stands for noble. So when I think of nobility, if you think about someone who is noble, a lot of the time you're thinking about how it is that they show up, right? It's their actions that make them noble, not just what's going on in here. So if we think of a tree, right? An apple tree, the fruits are a byproduct of the roots, right? It's what's under the ground that creates what's above the ground. And the same thing is with the nobility. So the outward expression of nobility is a byproduct of what is happening in here, which is the man's values, right? Now, anyone can have great values. The question is, are they living by their values? Which is why I don't just say a man who has great values, but a man who is noble. A man who is noble is living in accordance with his values. Now, here is the key question. What are his values and where did he get his values from? I'm going to say that again. What are his values and where did he get his values from? So here's what you want to think about. You want to be dating a man and marrying a man who his eyes is, his standard for what a man is like Jesus, right? That's his compass. That is his internal GPS system around who he is trying to be like. That's where he gets his values from, and that is who he is trying to be like. So his values are going to be things like love, like faith, like forgiveness, loyalty, courage, compassion, justice, honesty, and service. Because he's trying to be like Jesus, knowing that he's going to fall short every single day. But that is his standard, right? Those are his values, and his values are creating his outward expression of nobility. The next letter, H, stands for humility. So if we think of the Last Supper, right before Jesus was crucified, he got down and he started washing the disciples' feet. So in John 13, verse 14, it says, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash another's feet." So humility, I looked up the meaning. Humility is the feeling or attitude that you have no special importance that makes you better than others. It is the lack of pride, what I shared in the beginning, right? So it's like, I'm not up here and you're not down here. So when I am greeting the janitor, when I am greeting the waiter, when I'm greeting the receptionist, I treat them like, I don't treat them as lower than me. I am not more important than you. So that is a man who has humility. So that is a man worth marrying. The next letter is O. O stands for obedience. The meaning of obedience is complying or willing to comply with orders or requests, submissive to another's will. Submissive to another's will. So a lot of women that we coach, they say, I want a man who is a leader. Give me a man who leads. Yes, that is absolutely important. And at the same time, I'm going to invite you to look for a man who is a great follower. Because a great leader is a great follower. So the head of the family is the man, but the head of the man is God. So is he willing to be obedient and submissive to God's will compared to just living from his will? Is he willing to comply and follow orders from God? Is he being led by God? In John chapter 14, verse 15, it says, "If you love me, keep my commands." That right there is something that you want to be looking for. Is he obedient to God? The next letter is others focused. So self-absorbed men is one of the biggest challenges of men today. This was me for a very long time, so I'll put my hand up with this, right? So others focused. Matthew chapter 20, verse 28, it says, "Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." You want a servant, right? A man who is a servant. Not a man who is just going to be pushed around by you, but a man who is willing to serve you, which is very different as a whole other video. But you want a servant. The last letter is D, which is dependable. So you want to be looking for a man who is trustworthy, who is reliable, who can keep his commitments with the small things. He can keep his promises with the small things. He isn't going to, when you're dating him, he isn't going to cancel last minute. This is a man who is going to lead. Right? You can depend on his word. And Luke chapter 16 verse 10 says this. It says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much." So in the dating stage, you want to be ensuring that a man is willing to keep his commitments or renegotiate his commitments if he did agree to something that he isn't able to commit to. So you want to look for a man that you can depend on. And if you did enjoy this video, please ensure to subscribe and comment down below what was your biggest takeaway from this. And if you liked this, you also like this video here, so go ahead and click it.